Are you struggling to choose between Maven and Gradle? Or do you find build lifecycle errors holding back your Java projects? In this video, we will cover Java Build Tools Maven and Gradle certification practice questions and explanations. Master Java Build Tools with this comprehensive practice exam covering Maven and Gradle. In this video, we dive deep into 30 high-yield practice questions covering the core domains of Java Build Tools. Focusing on Maven and Gradle, we'll explore dependency management, build lifecycles, plugins, and the key differences that will help you ace your certification and professional projects. Before we start, make sure to grab a pen and paper to track your score. Let's see if you can get all 30 correct. Which file is the core configuration file for a Maven project? Option A, build.xml. Option B, POM.xml. Option C, settings.xml. Option D, Maven, config. The correct answer is B. The project object model, POM, is the fundamental unit of work in Maven. It is an XML file, POM.xml, that contains information about the project and configuration details used by Maven to build the project. It includes dependencies, plugins, goals, and various project metadata such as version, group ID, and artifact ID. Option A is for Ant, and option C is for user-specific Maven configuration, not project-specific. What is the primary language used to write Gradle build scripts in modern versions? Option A, XML. Option B, Python. Option C, Groovy or Kotlin. Option D, YAML. The correct answer is C. Unlike Maven, which uses XML, Gradle uses a domain-specific language, DSL, based on Groovy or Kotlin. This allows for much more flexible and programmatic build logic. Kotlin DSL is increasingly popular due to its type safety and better IDE support, while Groovy remains the legacy standard. In the Maven default lifecycle, which phase comes immediately after compile? Option A, validate. Option B, package. Option C, test. Option D, install. The correct answer is C. The Maven default lifecycle follows a specific sequence. Validate to compile to test to package to verify to install to deploy. Therefore, after the code is compiled, Maven proceeds to execute the unit tests using a suitable testing framework like Junit or TestNG. What is the purpose of the Gradle wrapper? Option A, to encrypt build scripts for security. Option B, to ensure a project build uses a specific Gradle version consistently. Option C, to convert Maven POM files into Gradle files. Option D, to provide a GUI for Gradle commands. The correct answer is B. The Gradle wrapper, Gradle, is a batch script for Windows and a shell script for Unix that downloads and uses a specific version of Gradle defined in the project. This ensures that every developer in CD environment builds the project with the exact same Gradle version, preventing "it works on my machine" issues. Which Maven dependency scope indicates that a dependency is required for compilation but will be provided by the JDK or a container at runtime? Option A, compile. Option B, runtime. Option C, provided. Option D, test. The correct answer is C. The provided scope is used for dependencies like the Servlet API or Java EE APIs. You need them to compile your code, but you don't want to include them in the final jar file because the web server, like Tomcat, or the runtime environment already provides those libraries. How are tasks executed in Gradle compared to Maven goals? Option A. Gradle tasks are always executed in alphabetical order. Option B. Gradle uses a directed acyclic graph, DAG, to determine task order. Option C. Gradle tasks must be manually ordered in the XML file. Option D. Gradle does not support task dependencies. The correct answer is B. Gradle build logic is based on a directed acyclic graph, DAG. Before any task executes, Gradle builds a complete graph of all tasks and their dependencies. This allows Gradle to determine the most efficient execution order and avoid running the same task twice or running tasks that are already up to date. Where does Maven store downloaded dependencies by default on a local machine? Option A. USR, bin, Maven, repo. Option B. C. Program files, Maven, library. Option C. The M2 directory in the user's home folder. Option D. The project's lib folder. The correct answer is C. Maven uses a local repository to cache downloaded artifacts. By default, this is located at $user home M2 repository. This allows multiple projects on the same machine to share the same jar files, saving disk space and reducing download times. Which Gradle feature allows it to skip tasks if the input and output files have not changed? Option A. Incremental build. Option B. Build cache. Option C. Daemon mode. Option D. Parallel execution. The correct answer is A. Incremental build is a core feature of Gradle. For every task, Gradle tracks the inputs, files, properties, and outputs. If the inputs and outputs remain the same since the last execution, Gradle marks the task as up to date and skips it, significantly speeding up subsequent builds. Which Maven plugin is responsible for creating a jar file from the compiled classes? Option A. Maven Compiler plugin. Option B. Maven Deploy plugin. Option C. Maven Jar plugin. Option D. Maven Surefire plugin. The correct answer is C. The Maven Jar plugin provides the capability to build jars, while the package phase triggers the creation of the artifact. It is this specific plugin that handles the packaging of the classes and resources into the standard Java archive format. In Gradle, which block is used to define the external libraries the project depends on? Option A. Libraries. Option B. Dependencies. Option C. External. Option D. Plugins. The correct answer is B. The dependencies block in a build Gradle file is where you declare the group name and version of the libraries your project needs. You also specify the configuration, e.g., implementation, test implementation, which determines when the dependency is used. If you have a version conflict where two different dependencies require different versions of the same library, how does Maven resolve it by default? Option A. It chooses the newest version. Option B. It throws a build failure error. Option C. Nearest definition. It uses the version from the dependency closest to the project root in the tree. Option D. It includes both versions in the class path. The correct answer is C. Maven uses nearest definition resolution. If project A depends on B, which depends on D version 1.0, and C, which depends on D version 2.0, and B and C are at the same depth, the one declared first in the POM usually wins. If D is declared directly in project A's POM, that version, the nearest one, will always be used regardless of what B and C want. What is the Gradle daemon? Option A. A background process that keeps Gradle running to improve startup time. Option B. A virus scanner for build scripts. Option C. A specialized plugin for deploying to cloud environments. Option D. The component that manages the local Maven repository. The correct answer is A. The Gradle daemon is a long-lived background process. By staying running between builds, it avoids the overhead of starting the JVM and loading the Gradle classes every time you run a command. This can reduce build start times by several seconds. In a Maven multi-module project, which XML element is used in the parent POM to list the sub-projects? Option A. Less than subprojects greater than. Option B. Less than children greater than. Option C. Less than modules greater than. Option D. Less than components greater than. The correct answer is C. The less than modules greater than section in a parent POM.xml lists the relative paths to the directories containing the child modules. When you run a command on the parent, Maven uses this list to determine the build order based on inter-module dependencies. What is the difference between implementation and API configurations in the Gradle Java library? Plugin? Option A. There is no difference. Option B. API leaks the dependency to consumers of the library, while implementation does not. Option C. Implementation is only for internal Java classes. Option D. API is faster to compile than implementation. The correct answer is B. Implementation hides the dependency from the compile class path of consumers, improving compilation speed and encapsulation. API should be used if the dependencies types are exposed in the library's public API. Using implementation, where possible, prevents polluting the class path of other modules that depend on your module. Which command removes the target directory in Maven to ensure a fresh build? Option A. MVN purge. Option B. MVN delete. Option C. MVN clean. Option D. MVN refresh. The correct answer is C. The MVN clean command invokes the clean lifecycle, which consists of a single phase, clean. This phase uses the Maven clean plugin to delete the target directory, which contains all the compiled classes and packaged artifacts from previous builds. Which build tool is generally considered to have a steeper learning curve but offers more flexibility through its use of a programming language? Option A. Ant. Option B. Maven. Option C. Gradle. Option D. Make. The correct answer is C. Gradle is more flexible because it uses Groovy Kotlin, allowing for custom logic without writing separate plugins. However, this flexibility means developers need to understand the underlying language and the Gradle API, making it more complex than the declarative, strictly structured XML approach of Maven. What does the snapshot suffix in a Maven version, e.g., 1.0-snapshot, signify? Option A. The version is a stable release. Option B. The version is currently under development and can be updated frequently. Option C. The version is read-only. Option D. The version is only for local testing and cannot be deployed. The correct answer is B. A snapshot version indicates that the artifact is the latest code along a development branch. Unlike release versions, Maven will check the remote repository for updates to a snapshot every time it builds, depending on settings, ensuring developers have the most recent code from their teammates. How do you tell Gradle to look for dependencies in the Maven Central repository? Option A. Repositories, Central, closing curly bracket. Option B. Repositories, Maven, closing curly bracket. Option C. Repositories, Maven Central, closing curly bracket. Option D. Repositories, JCenter, closing curly bracket. The correct answer is C. In the repositories block of a Gradle build script, the --Maven Central method is a shortcut provided by Gradle to configure the build to fetch dependencies from the official Maven Central repository. What is the purpose of Maven profiles? Option A. To create user accounts for Maven Central. Option B. To allow different build configurations for different environments, e.g., dev, prod. Option C. To store the developer's personal information. Option D. To manage the versions of Maven itself. The correct answer is B. Maven profiles allow you to customize the build for different target environments. You can override dependencies, plugin configurations, or properties based on the active profile. Profiles can be triggered by command line flags, environment variables, or the presence of certain files. Which Gradle file is used to define the project name and include submodules? Option A. build.gradle. Option B. Gradle properties. Option C. settings, Gradle. Option D. local properties. The correct answer is C. The settings, Gradle, or settings, Gradle.kts file is executed during the initialization phase of the Gradle build. Its primary role is to define which modules should be included in the build and to set the root project name. What is the purpose of the less than dependency management greater than section in a parent POM? Option A. To force all child modules to include the listed dependencies. Option B. To centralize the versions of dependencies without actually adding them to children. Option C. To exclude dependencies from the build. Option D. To list the repositories where dependencies are located. The correct answer is B. Less than dependency management greater than is a mechanism to centralize dependency information. If a child module adds a dependency listed in the parent's less than dependency management greater than, it can omit the version number. This ensures version consistency across all modules in a large project. Which command is used to run tests in a Gradle project? Option A. Gradle run tests. Option B. Gradle test. Option C. Gradle check. Option D. Both B and C. Indirectly. The correct answer is D. While Gradle test specifically runs the unit tests. Gradle check is a lifecycle task that includes the test task as well as other verification tasks like check style or PMD. Usually, developers use test for quick verification and check for full validation. Which Maven plugin is used to run unit tests during the test phase? Option A. Maven Test Plugin. Option B. Maven Unit Plugin. Option C. Maven Surefire Plugin. Option D. Maven Failsafe Plugin. The correct answer is C. The Surefire plugin is designed for running unit tests. It generates reports in XML and TXT formats. For integration tests, Maven typically uses the Failsafe plugin, which is designed to not fail the build immediately during the test phase so that the environment can be torn down properly. In Gradle, what is a task action? Option A. The command line argument passed to Gradle. Option B. A block of code, using do first or do last, that defines what the task actually does. Option C. The dependency relationship between two tasks. Option D. The configuration block where task properties are set. The correct answer is B. Tasks consist of a configuration phase and an execution phase. Actions are the logic that runs during the execution phase. You add actions to a task using do first, or do last. Configuration code runs every time Gradle starts, but action code only runs if the task is actually executed. What does GAV stand for in Maven? Option A. General Archive Variable. Option B. Group ID, Artifact ID, Version. Option C. Gradle, Ant, Visual Studio. Option D. Generate, Analyze, Verify. The correct answer is B. GAV is the unique identifier for any Maven artifact. The group ID, usually a reversed domain name. Artifact ID, the name of the project, and version together define exactly which coordinate in a repository refers to a specific piece of software. What is a Gradle build scan? Option A. A tool that scans for security vulnerabilities in dependencies. Option B. A shareable record of a build that provides insights into performance and failures. Option C. A command to list all available plugins. Option D. The process of indexing the project files by the ID. The correct answer is B. A build scan is a powerful diagnostic tool. When you run a build with scan Gradle publishes data about the build, execution time, task details, dependency resolution, to a web interface, making it easy to share and debug build issues with team members. What is the difference between install and deploy in Maven? Option A. Install puts the artifact in the local repo. Deploy puts it in a remote repo. Option B. Install is for testing. Deploy is for production. Option C. Install compiles the code. Deploy packages it. Option D. There is no difference. The correct answer is A. The install phase takes the packaged artifact, like a jar, and copies it to your local repository, -m2 repository, so other local projects can use it. The deploy phase takes that same artifact and pushes it to a remote repository, like Nexus or Artifactory, for the rest of the team or the public to use. What is the default name for the Gradle build file using the Kotlin DSL? Option A, build, Gradle. Option B, build, Gradle.kts. Option C, build, kt. Option D, Gradle, build.kts. The correct answer is B. The !.kts extension stands for Kotlin script. When using the Kotlin DSL for Gradle, the build file must be named !build, Gradle.kts to be recognized by the build engine. Standard Groovy scripts use !build, Gradle . In a child POM, how do you reference the parent project? Option A. Using the less than extends greater than tag. Option B. Using the less than parent greater than tag with gav coordinates. Option C. By placing the child folder inside the parent folder. Option D. Maven automatically finds parents by file name. The correct answer is B. A child POM must explicitly declare its parent using the less than parent greater than element. This includes the parent's group ID, artifact ID, and version. This allows the child to inherit settings, properties, and dependency management from the parent. Which tool uses configuration on demand to improve performance in multi-project builds? Option A, Maven. Option B, Ant. Option C, Gradle. Option D, Bazel. The correct answer is C. Configuration on demand is a Gradle feature that attempts to configure only the projects that are relevant for the requested tasks in a very large multi-project build. This avoids the time-consuming process of configuring every single submodule if you are only working on one of them. That concludes our 30 practice questions on Java build tools. How many did you get right? Whether you are a Maven veteran or a Gradle enthusiast, understanding these core concepts is vital for modern Java development. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more certification prep content. Don't forget to comment your score below. For the full practice exam and detailed study guides, check the link in the description below.